Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Shruti and this is Karan. And today we're going to give you some tips on how to successfully give your F1 interview. So before we start with that, we'll just give a brief introduction about us. So I came to the US to do my master's in computer science in 2018, and then I did my PhD, and now I'm working as a data scientist.
Yeah, so I came here in 2017 to do my PhD. So my F1 visa interview was sometime in like spring of 2017. So it's been pretty long, but we feel like the questions are still same, and we'll try to share what are the new things you need to be aware of and how you can succeed in the F1 visa interview.
So my F1 visa interview was in Mumbai.
Hmm.
In It was in June 2018, and I was asked just like 3 or 4 questions.
That's it.
So they first started with the university and what major I will be coming for. That's computer science, and then they asked me like how I'm going to fund my education, like who my sponsor is. My sponsor, as I said, my sponsor was my father. And then they asked me what he does, like his occupation.
Hmm.
So they just asked me these 3 questions. What about you?
So like for me, it was like a PhD program. So more questions were focused on the research. So what I'm gonna do in my university. So firstly, they started with like where you wants to go in the United States, and then I told like Washington State University, and then they asked me which all universities I applied for. So I applied for only one university, and then they asked me how you reach out to your advisor. So I was able to answer that, and after that they asked me like who will be providing the funding for your PhD, and then I showed my I-20 and it was written that department is going to fund my whole PhD. So after that they didn't ask me anything, and they are like, oh, you are granted 5 years visa. So I feel like it was pretty straightforward, and mine was in New Delhi at the time. So it was a pretty straightforward interview.
Yeah, I think for both of us, the funding or the sponsorship
Mm.
was the main
Yeah.
concern that they asked about.
या तो अगर हम लोग अपने एक्सपीरियंस से बताएं कि आप अगर आप F1 इंटरव्यू पे जा रहे हो, कौन कौन से थिंग्स आपको कंसीडर करनी चाहिए। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो आपके पास सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स होने चाहिए, लाइक आपका पासपोर्ट, DS-160 की फीस हो, I-20 जो यूनिवर्सिटी से आपको मिलेगी, अगर आपके पास ऑफर लेटर है, and date of birth certificate. So try to take all those kinds of documents there.
Also, your financial proofs.
Hmm.
Like if someone is sponsoring you, then you need that. If you are coming on assistantship, then that will be mentioned in your I-20.
I-20. And then appointment letter, that's also very important. So that's how they're gonna give you entry. So these are some of the documents which the original you should take with you. You can also take the photocopies, but they're gonna look at the original documents. And the main things you need to be aware of is like what major or what study you're going to do in the US, what are the different universities you targeted, because they're going to ask you a lot of questions like why this university over the other, what are the universities you applied for. And then they will also ask about the future plan, what you want to do after doing your masters. Do you know where how many job opportunities are available?
And the other things are mainly focused on funding, like sponsorship.
Yeah, funding is very important. So if you are like taking some kind of a loan or taking money from parents, or your professor is sponsoring, so you need to have all those documents with you. And the last most important question they ask is like, what is your plan after you are done with your masters or a PhD? So you need to show link back to your home country, like India in this case. So it's not advisable to say, okay, after my PhD or a masters, I'm planning to work in the United States. That's a pretty big red flag. They might reject your F1 visa at that time.
Yeah, you need to show intent of going back. So you can also, they might ask you why you want to go to the US then if you show intent of going back. So talk about the education system, how good it is. Like they have like world ranked universities here. And also sometimes your specialization has, better programs in the US compared to India. So you can talk about that too.
Yeah. So at last, अगर मान लो आपका visa reject भी हो जाता है, so you don't need to panic. So you can reapply. You can work with some expert. What are the things you need to improve? You already know the questions, so based on those questions they rejected you, and it happened with so many of people. So sometimes people go with the second round, third round of the interview to get the F1 visa. So you don't need to panic. Prepare more in the interview, arrange your documents, and find the real cause why they rejected your F1 visa.
Yeah, and throughout the process, one main thing is you should look confident. like you have to be very concise and stick, be confidently give your answer. Like they shouldn't feel like you're nervous or you're trying to hide something.
Yeah, and don't give more information. So if they ask you which university you are going to, just tell the name. Don't just keep telling, oh, this is the university, this is the department, this is the state. They know everything about that. So be specific to the point. Yeah.
Just to wrap it up, final advice: be confident, don't be nervous, give concise answers, don't try to explain more than what is needed, and also present yourself well, like dress formally. And yeah, or koi suggestions hai?
I think, yeah, best of luck for the interview.
Yeah.
And let us know what kind of a questions they ask you, if and we will be happy to make another video like based on others experience as well, what kind of questions they're asking these days.
Yeah. Thank you for watching.